Hello guys, today I'll talk about the disease called Lesion nematodes caused by Pratylenchus spp. Okay, some characteristics about this nematode, about this disease, is that they had over 500 hosts worldwide, and especially in the tropics and subtropics in the warmer parts of the temperate zone. The pathogen is that causes this disease is called Pratylenchus spp, and some of the common symptoms that you can see in a plant that is infected by these nematodes are you can see a plant with a nutrient deficiency. You can see some symptoms as wilt, stunt, and lesions on the roots. So let's talk about the disease cycle. In this figure, we can see like the life cycle of the nematode, but we can use this information to do our diagram of disease cycle. So let's start with survival. Um, this nematode overwinter in roots or soil as eggs. Some others also mention like juveniles or adults. The primary inoculum are the nematodes J2. These nematodes, they hatch from the eggs as second stage juveniles J2. They move through water, uh, trying or looking for a host plant and a site at which to feed. They also sense the exudates from the roots. That's like a sign for them to try to localize those roots. They are dispersed by contaminated soil, roots remaining also in the field. For example, there is a common practice called tillage. So the nematodes are dispersed, but for example, when you do this activity, the tillage, you move the soil, so you can move contaminated soil from those contaminated areas to not contaminated areas. You can also move roots, so it's like you're spreading the disease in the field. About the infection curve, the nematodes infect the root tips. And about infection and colonization, there is a direct penetration by the nematodes. Then the J2 feeds and molts to J3. Then the J3 feeds and also molts to J4. And the J4 molts to become adult males and females. And the females produce eggs. And then the cycle will start again. So in this case, I put the numbers in this diagram to help to try to localize the information. And if you see here, number 5, you can see all this process that is mentioned here. They also mentioned that while the nematode is feeding, is some lesions will expand. For example, here in the J3, they mentioned that the lesion expand, and in the J4, they also mentioned that the lesion become extensive. Finally, there is a nice, interesting information that, for example, in spring and early summer, usually the nematodes colonize the roots, but in fall, usually the nematodes move from the roots to the soil because these roots are gonna like decompose, already dying. It's like the final season of the plant, of the crop. So it's like when there are roots, the nematodes go to the roots, and when the plant is already dying, the nematodes go to the soil. So it's interesting because if you want to do a sampling of nematodes, you need to take in consideration that information. I hope my explanation, I hope you could understand my explanation. And in the last slide, here are the reference I used to do this video. Thank you guys.